Okay, so today I want to talk about fussy eaters, because this is something like I have this conversation every day, I reckon, at the shop or online with someone. It always tends to be, I hate to generalize by breed or size or whatever, but the fussy eaters always tend to be small dogs, your cavoodles and just your little small white fluffies and so on. And I wrote a blog about this phenomenon of small fussy eaters, or just fussy eaters in general. And basically, what I say to these pet parents with the fussy eaters is you basically got two options with these dogs. The first option is you continually change their food to their liking as you try new food, they'll eat it, they're happy, they like it, maybe for a few days or a week or two or whatever, and then all of a sudden you serve that same food, nose up, not having it, won't eat for days, right? Most people at that stage freak out because their dog's not eating, they can't stand that idea, and they're like, oh my god, I've got to get the dog to eat. So they offer it all kinds of things. They offer it yummy roast chicken from the supermarket, they offer cooked steak, blah 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 blah, and all you've done there is told your dog, if you don't like your dinner, I'm going to give you something way more awesome. So I always ask people, what do you do when they don't eat? And if they say that, oh, I cook them something, I'm like, no. Once you start cooking food for your dog, it's extremely difficult to come back from. Extremely difficult, because dogs are all about smell. If it smells better, it tastes better. And cooked food not only smells better, it tastes better. We all know that. Cooked food is yummy. Dogs think so too. Doesn't mean it's the best thing for them. I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best thing for them. And you'll struggle to get them to go back to eating plain old cold raw meat once they've had a yummy cooked chook. So option number one, you feed them a whole lot of different foods, you keep changing their food, you probably waste a lot of food, blah 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 blah. That's an option if you want to do it that way, but most people don't, and that's why they're seeking advice. Option number two is the tough love approach. Now, it's tricky and it's hard and people don't like doing it, and I totally get that, but ultimately a healthy dog will not starve itself. Obviously, if you are concerned about your dog, you should rule out illness. So if they're being particularly fussy, really not eating, maybe a vet check is in order, just to make sure it's not an underlying health issue, because I'd never recommend withholding food from a dog who is ill, of course. But failing that, they're all healthy, they're fine, they're just fussy. The tough love approach, and this is outlined on the blog that I wrote. I'm not going to go into the details now, but you can go and read the blog. It's basically, offering the food. If they don't eat it within a certain time frame, you take the food away and you offer it at the next mealtime. It's not going to kill a dog to not eat, even for a whole day or even two. Some people fast their dogs on purpose. Like, it's fine, they'll be fine. And I'm talking about adult dogs here, not puppies, obviously. So yeah, don't freak out if they don't eat for a day. Offer them the meal the next morning. If they're hungry enough, they will eat it. So that is your second option, the tough love approach, and it does work. If you are persistent and consistent, it will work. Like most dog training, you have to be consistent, and they'll eat the food, and then they'll know that, okay, well, this is all I'm getting. But you keep giving them other options, of course they're gonna hold out for the roast chook or the cooked steak or some of your dinner. They are very clever. They are very, very clever, our dogs. So yeah, you either change the food all the time, you do the tough love approach and you stick to it. The third option, which is kind of a bit of both, you can add some things to their food to tempt them into eating. So like I said about smell, often like fishy things work really well. So like tinned tuna from the supermarket, or some cat food or something like that, or meal toppers, all the fishy meal toppers, or most of the meal toppers have quite a strong smell. So you can add things to the food that you want them to eat to encourage them to eat, and then kind of phase out the topper, or keep using it, whatever, because that only benefits them further. But yeah, they're basically your options, and all that is outlined in the blog as well with more details. So that is my talk on fussy eating. Don't cook start cooking food for your dog. And if you really don't want to have to keep changing their food all the time to get them to eat, then it might be time to do a little tough love and let them know that this is the food that's on offer and they need to eat